In this L2 data mapping video, I'm going to go through the quick and easy process of loading a file with a state voter ID in it into data mapping. So the first thing you need is actually outside of data mapping, which is a file either from Secretary of State or from another data provider with a state voter ID in it. I've put it in Excel, and you can see we've got voter ID labeled here. These are all New York State IDs, so we're working in the New York State application. And we're going to come back to this in just 1 second. But first, we have to go back to our application, and what you've got here is you've opened up New York, and remember, you can only do this in a state application, not the US map, and it has to be constituent or voter. So we go down to private data, click on the plus sign, and you can see you've got two options: upload from a file or use previously matched file. Previously matched file, that select would be if you've loaded a file of name and address or address only files, or you've previously loaded a state voter or L2 ID file. In this case, we're starting fresh. We're uploading a new file. Then you go down and you could see accepted file types, all listed here, and then required identifying field. This is where you're going to choose either the L2 ID or the state voter ID. So in this case, I'm going to copy the voter state voter ID because that's what we need to put as the header, and it needs to match that exactly, and it needs to be in the first row. Drag this back over, copy and paste voter state voter ID, and then I'm going to do a quick save, and now it's saved correctly. Going to X out of this, upload from file, click on select, New York State voter ID. I've got my branch label. I'm going to keep that the same email, value threshold. We don't need to worry about that for this example. We're then going to go to proceed. What I like about the state voter ID match is it's very quick, as there's no matching logic that's needed. It's not probabilistic. It just can simply match exact value to exact value, and it either matches or it doesn't. And that's what you've got here. You have a match label or not. So in this case, I'm going to click OK. And as this is converting, I will mention the fact that when you have multiple fields within here, so let's say you have response codes from another provider, or you have some other um, data that you want to load into L2 data mapping, you can do that with the state voter ID and then add multiple fields to it. In this case, we're just matching the identifier itself. All right, we matched all 1,000, close pop-up, New York State voter ID file, and you're going to see it matched here. It's going to take a second for the private data branch to open. All right, it's loaded up, and then we can click on our branch here. And now what a lot of people choose to do with this is either append information they didn't previously have. Maybe that could be a phone number, that could be something else, where they're able to take just the data that they're looking for in the tool and then be able to create a universe, save it, and export it. And that's how you load state voter IDs into L2 data mapping.